Today I want to talk about an essential AppSheet skill, something that I call hot linking. The problem that this solves for is the scenario where what do you do if you need to reference connect a whole bunch of different records to the same parent? And then I can come over here and I can be like, cool, we need to move Bren, Renata, Michelle, Stafford, Guinevere, Annabelle, Rochelle. They all need to move to research and development, and we need to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phones to the mix. So if we go look at research and development, all of my people are now there, and I've added in a whole bunch of phones. I guess I only clicked it. Oh yeah, 5. There you go. You just can't see them all. Greetings, salutations, and all good things in between. What is up, everyone? Matt here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Maybe you'll consider subscribing. I put out educational content about how to be a ninja with the AppSheet platform every Tuesday, and I live stream every Friday. Okay, enough of all of that. Let's get to the video. There's really only a couple of things that I need to add to my app in order to make this functionality happen. I need a space to hold this temporary variable. I need a slice to hold the record that I'm going to put over there. I need an action to put the record in the slice. I need an action to remove the record out of the slice. And then I need an action on any of the other tables to either move or copy that record or its details to the destination. Okay, let's implement the first thing, the space to hold this temporary variable. So it needs to live on the parent of your database. So in this instance, that would be the department table. So you can see here, there's nothing inside here to hold a temporary variable. So I'm going to add one in here. I'm going to call it temporary variable. Wait for it to save, come back to AppSheet, go to my department columns, hit regenerate. Now that we have the space to hold this temporary variable, let's create the actions necessary to flag the variable and remove it. First, I need the action to set the flag. So it lives on my parent level here. It's going to be called set temp var. It's one of these set a value to some columns in this row, and the column that we want to set is temp var, and the value that we want to set this to is honestly whatever value that you want to use. At this point, it's up to you to really kind of come up with what flags do you want to use. I like to use things that kind of make sense. So like for this case, I'm going to use the flag destination because that's the idea of what I'm doing. But you know, if you're doing this for looping, you know, maybe the temporary variable that you use is like parent for looping or whatever. You know, it doesn't even matter what it is. It's just a string of characters that needs to be unique. So you just put whatever here. So like I want this to be a destination. I'm going to copy that because I need it. This is the action that they'll use to turn on the hot link system. So I'm going to make this obviously visible. I'm going to make this like, I'm going to use a flag, and I'm going to give it a display name of set destination. Yeah. All right. Now the condition for this needs to be only if the temporary variable is blank. As long as that's blank, show this action. Now let's make the second action for this. The pairing to the set is the clear. You always got to clear the flag whenever you set it. The easiest way to do this, copy the action that you made, change the name a little bit, clear temp var. I'll just leave it like that. And the value that we need is just a blank value like that. Obviously we need to change this to like clear destination. And then I'm going to make this like a stop thing. Yeah, here we go with like that. And then the condition needs to be the opposite of this, is not blank temp var. And now these two will be mutually exclusive to each other. So if I save this and we come back, we can test this sort of functionality out and see what this sort of stuff looks like. And you can see now I only see the one action, and when I click it, now the other one's visible. And if I was to go look at accounting in the back end, you can see accounting is now the one record that has this sort of destination thing on it. And then if we return back, if we clear the destination and we push that, we can see obviously that goes away. Cool. So now that we have all of the stuff in place to actually flag the record that we need to hold inside this global variable, now we need to create the slice that will become that global variable. So go back to AppSheet, go to data, slices, new slice of the department table where the temporary variable equals destination, right? And then we can call this destination department, right? I'll copy that because I'm going to need that. Save it so it propagates through the system. All right, now that we have the slice, now we can use the presence of something inside this slice as a condition for whether or not that initial action, the one that we use to set the flag, we can put a condition on this now so that it's only shown whenever this slice is empty. This brings me to an important point. When you're setting up a system like this, it's critical that that slice only have one record inside it. If you're going to build something where it uses multiple, you need to build your system accordingly, and that's an entirely different beast. But when you're doing something like this, one record at a time, right? So the action that you use to set the flag, that thing needs to be exclusive so that if I have set something in any of the records, then this won't show anywhere else. And we do that through the presence of something inside this slice. So copy the name of my slice, go back to my behavior and go to this set temp var. This is the one I'm talking about. So we go to the condition, and so like right now, it just has this, is not blank temp var. I need to add something to this. I need to make this an and statement. So we'll add the and in there. And then the statement that I need it to be is almost the same thing as this first one, is blank, but I need it to be that slice, right? And then whatever the ID is for that table. In this case, it's this one right here. It's department. So I'm just going to copy the name, right? That's the key for that. So if is blank, so if the temporary variable is blank and the slice that I've made is blank, if that's true, if both of those conditions are true, then I want to see this action, because otherwise there's already something that's been flagged and I don't want to be able to flag another one. So like if I test this, now I can go here, and if I go look at a different department, there's no actions available. Now that we've got everything in place, now it's time to set up all of those other actions that we're going to use throughout the system where we can say, move this record to that parent, or copy this record's details into a new record for that parent. The first one that I'm going to go over is how can I move something? So in this scenario, what we're doing is we're changing the reference value inside the record itself. So if I go to the employees, they have a reference value here that shows the department that they belong to, right? And so the idea is that I'm going to change whatever value is inside that space to the value that I'm holding inside that global variable. So the first thing that I need is an action to change that variable. Let's do that. We'll make a new action. It's going to live on the employee table. So this is the child in this instance. And I'm going to change this to set, and then employee. I'm just going to abbreviate department to destination, right? And so the idea is, yeah, I want to, it's one of these data, set the values of some column, and I want to set the department to, okay, this is where it's helpful to first go get the name of your slice on your clipboard. And then go back, because inside here we can say index the slices, and then go get the key value for the slice, the key column. For that, index the one thing out of that. And that is the formula that we need that's going to do the magic that we're looking to do of move this record to the new parent. That is all that takes. You've got to flag it, put it over there, and then you have this sort of like index thing. You could wrap it in any too, that would work, where it grabs that value. With this in place, we can say, now let's go for All right, with that set, we can go to a little appearance settings. Okay, do it again. With that done, we can move on to some appearance settings. So I want to call this to move to destination. I'm gonna, let's see, is there a good move? Oh yeah, here we go. That's a fun one. And I only want to see this if this department is not equal to the department inside that slice. So I'm just going to go grab, I already have that. I'm going to go grab that right here. So this is that thing, that value that I'm looking for. So if this department does not equal the destination department, don't show this. Don't show this. I also need to throw in here, also there's another branch, and is not blank. The thing on my clipboard. So show this move action when the department for this employee is not the department that's the destination, and when there is a destination over there. If that's true, show this. Otherwise, don't. Okay, that is the action that's in place that we need to move an employee from one department to the next. Now, the easiest way to test this is I'm going to make a new department and move people to that one. Okay, so I'm going to go to my new department. I'm going to set that as the destination. And now if we go and look at anything, so if I look at like this person here, they're in accounting. When I hit that and I go and I look, yeah, okay, so Adele Prom, let's make sure that was the actual person that I clicked on. So if I go here, so I'm looking at Worthington something. So Worthington something is now in the new department. If I go look at Alec Bledsoe is now in the new department. Yeah, buddy. And if I go look at the new department, these people I've been clicking on are now there. Okay, so one of the things that I do in this instance now is I want to make this sort of tap to add the person a whole lot easier to accomplish, so that like the user doesn't have to click on the record to get to the detail, then they can see the action. What I actually want to happen is that when somebody clicks on the record itself, if we've got this destination thing turned on, take them to the don't take them to the record, instead do the link thing. Because the idea behind this sort of functionality is I go to this record and I turn on this system, and now there's like this global wide thing going on inside the app where like all the functionality inside the app has changed. We're in a different mode right now, right? That's really the idea about what we're trying to create here, is like I'm putting my app in a special mode where normal functionality doesn't really work like it's supposed to anymore. And I want to set things up so that when I tap on the record, it doesn't take me to the view of the record that I'm looking at. It instead does that hot link. Let's do that really quick. So obviously the thing that I need then is I got to take over the tap action for this employee view here. So if we just go and we look at what is the current action there, you can see there's nothing there. Okay, so first thing we need to do in order to implement, functionality like this is we have to have the two actions. We need one of the actions is the fallback, is the action to take us to the detail view. Now there is no system generated action for that, so we have to make that. The easiest way to do this is to just go to that view. So like go to one of this is the employee detail view that I want. So go there, and then I can copy the name of the view, this guy down here, whatever it's called, and then go to behavior, create a new action on the table we're talking about where we're doing this, go to another view within this app. And then what we want to do is we want to link to row and enter in the ID, there it is, all the way at the bottom, and then in quotes the name of the view we want to go to. Yep, that's that. I don't want to see this, needs to go away. I'm going to call this view this employee. Okay, so this is all right. So now we have our two actions. This is the action that we want to do when there's nothing going on, right? When there is nothing inside that slice, this is the action that's going to go off. When there is something inside that slice, I want this one to go off. So we got both of the things that we need. Now we need the stack. So just make a new action on the employees. We can call this tapped this employee. It is one of these execute a sequence of actions down here. And the first thing we want to do is set the employee. The second thing we want to do is view this employee. And then we'll clean this up. We don't need to see it. Okay, this brings me to a thing I forgot about on the view action. We need to set the conditionality of the view action so that it doesn't fire off if there is something inside the slice. Basically the opposite logic of the other one. So literally we can just copy the original logic here and put it on that view action and just modify it. So, and this employee is not and is blank, right? This is the one. We can just leave that one by itself. So if the slice, yeah, we can do it just like this. So for the view action, if the destination slice is blank, this is the key down here. If it is blank, if that's true, show this one. That will kick off this view one. If it is not blank, then it will kick off this other one. Okay, now we need to put this tapped action, make it a finger. We need to put this on the event for this employee's view here. So we just go to the view, add it into the mix, save it, test this baby out. So it should be a lot easier now with my new department flagged as the destination. I should be able to go to any of these and be like, click, yep, look at that, how fast it is. Boom, 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 boom. I can be like, yep, that guy, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. And if I go, they've all been added to my new destination. And then I can just turn that off. That's hot linking. That's what you're trying to bring about. The ability to say, I want everything to go here, and then be like, click, 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 done. The other side of this is, what if I don't want to move the record? What if I just want to copy the record? So to accomplish this, I added a table to this that is equipment for each department. And the idea there is we can just take whatever the equipment is in one of the other records, hit a copy button, and it'll add it to whatever the destination is. So this is a pretty simplistic implementation of this sort of functionality, but you can kind of get the idea of what you're doing, right? So the way we do this, obviously we need a new action on the employee table, because that's where, I'm sorry, not on the employee table, but on the equipment table. Because if I go and I show you, like, here's the training department. The training department has these related employees, and they have these related equipments. They got a camera, a couple of PCs, and a widget. So the idea is I'm going to make an action that would allow me to tap on any of these and make a copy of those. So it lives on the equipment table because that's what this is. I am adding a new row to another table using values from this row. I'm adding it to the equipment table where the equipment type equals the equipment type. It's the same one. And where the department link equals this one, this formula, this index, the thing out of my slice. So that'll connect this to the correct thing. And then I just want to make sure that I got in the equipment, the date added, that this is set to today. Yep, perfect. Okay, so now this is ref new equipment to destination. There we go. can't type that word today. Yep. Okay, so the thing I want to do now is I want to implement the same type of tap functionality that I did for the employees, where if we have this flag on when I tap on the equipment, I don't see the details. I instead do the thing. I'm not going to show me doing that again. So I'm going to run through and implement that really quick, and then we'll come back and test it.
One eternity later.
All right, I have implemented my tap functionality now on the equipment table. So when I have my new department flagged like this, and I go to the training department and I say, cool, I need to add a camera, I should be able to tap on this. And if I go look at my new department, I should now have, yep, a camera added today. And so I can then go and like any of these things, be like, yep, they got a whiteboard, they got a widget. Let's see, anything else that they got? They got a couple of phones, 2, 3. They have one copier. And now if I go and I look, all of those records have been added over here. And so these records are obviously really, really simple. There's only one piece of detail inside there, the name of the thing. But if there was any other details inside there, they would have been copied over as well. And then since I'm actually making the copy, that gives me the chance to kind of change any of the details that I need. For instance, I changed the date of when that equipment was added to today. The last thing that I want to add to this is formatting rules. Like when I turn this system on, I need it to clearly communicate to people that we're in some other kind of different mode, right? Especially at least on the parent. So on the parent, right, I'll go to UX, formatting rules, I'll make a new one for the parent level where the temporary variable is not blank. So if that's true, then I want the department to be flagged with a flag. Why not? We'll do this, we'll make it big. See, now it's pretty clear what's going on here, right? This new department is the one that's flagged. And then like, I could also do something to where like in this list, I could sort things by the temporary variable. So that whatever I flag is always at the top. So if I clear this one and I go in here, they're in alphabetical order. Okay, they're not. But if I put them in alphabetical order, right? Now, if I come down here to research and development and flag this, and I go and I look at the list, research and development's now at the top. And that's it. That's how you create a hot linking system. There's a whole bunch of nuance involved here. There's a whole billion ways that you can use this, obviously. So I'm curious to know how you're using this sort of system. Let me know in the comments below. All right, everyone, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. See you in the community.